So I was sitting there thinking, as people do, as people, about my next video idea. Like the usual stuff, like the type of stuff that is motivational. Motivational stuff. But I really was starting to think my birthday was a couple months ago. I turned 18, and I feel like I've learned a lot of stuff since you know, have been on this earth. And I have a lot of stuff that I wish I told my younger self whenever I was like 13, 14, 15. I wish I could go back so bad and just tell myself a lot of things. And I don't mean this video in a way of like I've got it all figured out. I know exactly like how life is supposed to go. I know what to do. That's not what I'm saying at all actually. I'm saying a little bit of the opposite. A bunch of it is being okay with not knowing things. But there is a big element to it of, knowing stuff, learning stuff. And the first thing I could say, crazy transition by the way, the first thing that I've learned is that people in your life come and go. For a long time, that really bothered me, knowing that a bunch of my friends wouldn't be my friends in the future. I remember having those like late night conversations on Minecraft with like five of my friends where I'd be like, bro, will we be friends again in like 4 years? Will we still be friends in 5 years? And at the time, it was such a depressing thought. It was a depressing thought to think like, these are my closest friends. Will I know these people in 5 years? And you know what's crazy? I only talk to two of them now. Actually, not even two. I talked to one of my good buddies. And the other two, they've gone their opposite ways, but not for bad reasons. They've gone their opposite ways because our lives, you know, sometimes there's like a split in the road, and your values and other people's values don't match up, and it's okay to accept that. Through heartbreak, through fake friends, sometimes people have to go in different directions, and a lot of the time for people pleasers, I'm a big people pleaser. For people like me, and I'm sure some of you guys, that's a difficult thing to come to terms with. Real friends and real relationships won't chase you, and you shouldn't be chasing those fake friends and fake relationships. That's the best way I can really put that because fake friends are like plants. You've probably heard this analogy. Real friends are like growing plants. You grow beside them. You guys live your happy little plant life. But fake friends is like you're a gardener and you're watering the dead bush that's been dead for like a year. And then whenever you stop, like, have you guys ever, done that little experiment where you just stop texting someone and then they just don't text you ever? That's an example of being a fake friend. They don't care, so why should you care? And as much as that hurts, sometimes it's good to accept that because that's when you find your people. You find your people who will make you happier. I can't speak. I'm stuttering all the time. Who make you happier. They won't bring you down as fake friends typically would. Another big thing I've learned is that you can't control how people see you. You can be so hyper focused on how other people see you. You can focus on being the nicest person ever. You can be focused on being the most likable person ever, and sometimes people will not see you that way. You can be the best person ever, and there will always be someone who will look at you and be like, bro, this guy's a cornball. This dude's kind of annoying. Like, you could be the best person ever, and that's always going to happen. So it's okay to just accept that at some point because you're going to have to come to terms with it in the future in the same way you come to terms with friends who are not actually your friends. It used to mess with my head so bad whenever I think I'm doing so good. Whenever I think, everyone likes me, bro. I'm awesome. Like, whenever I thought in that context, and then someone would come up to me and be like, bro, you're annoying. Or like they just diss me behind my back. I'd be like, bro, what'd I do? And then I'd hyper focus on something that I didn't do? The truth is, the second you start to give that up, the second you start to or you stop trying to control it, you start to feel freer in your life. You start thinking to yourself, like, oh, I don't have to like worry about this. I can just, live my life like a normal person. And people around you will respect you for that. You might think, like, I'm trying to think of an example. Say you started like a social media account, like this YouTube channel that I'm on right now. Say you started an account and then a bunch of your friends or a bunch of people that are around you thought to themselves, like, bro, this dude's kind of a cornball. He started a TikTok account, but there will always be a group of people, like a pretty large group of people, who will respect you for that, who will respect you for putting yourself out there and not caring. Because you shouldn't care. Do what you want, bro. Like, that's the whole point of everything. Like, don't try to pretend to be something that you're not. Do things that you like, because if you don't, you're just merging into, you know, society as a whole. And I'm sure I'm probably going to forget this, but there might be a video in the description because I've talked about this before. So maybe go to some of my other videos where I've talked about, cutting off fake friends. I don't have that many videos on my channel. You can probably find it in about 5 seconds. Anyway, the next thing is what I'd say to my younger self. If I could talk to my younger self, and hopefully I'm maybe talking to a bunch of you guys who are younger than 18, who are like, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, people who are below 18 typically, I tell that person or myself that it's okay to be embarrassed about something. It's okay to fail. It's okay to mess up at something. You're not perfect. To say the wrong thing sometimes. Saying the wrong thing is not that bad because you don't have to try so hard to be liked. Trying hard to be liked will cut off your own personality. It makes you merge into what other people want you to be, and then what's the point of that? Then you're just like everyone else. You're not unique, you're not special, but you were born special. So be that person you were born to be. Like, what's the point in, not being your best self? I just have never understood that. Because the moment that you give everything up, you stop trying to be liked so hard, you start to actually like yourself. Not in a cocky way. Let me just say that. You start to like yourself, but not in a cocky way. You start liking yourself in a way of you having that type of peace in your life where, everything gets quieter around you. You stop overthinking about how other people see you, and you start caring more about how you yourself see you. And honestly, I'm still learning to do this. Like, I'm still figuring out how to handle stress, how to balance relationships and friends, how to slow down in life without feeling like I'm falling behind everybody. Because turning 18 doesn't magically make life feel sense. Or like make sense. I can't speak. Turning 18 doesn't make life make sense. I don't know if that made sense at all. But you know what I'm trying to say. Everyone, when they think of like a stupid kid, they mostly think of like older teenagers. And I'm at that point in my life where I'm the person that everyone's like, oh, this dude's an idiot. Like, they're not gonna, take me seriously a lot of the time. But there's also, beauty in that. Because turning 18, you start to see patterns in your life. You start to understand what really matters. Like, there's a lot of things that don't matter. You start realizing what really matters in your life, and it's easier to cut off all the noise around you. And that's why I kind of want to build a community in this channel. Not a perfect community. I don't want everybody in the comments to be, spamming all the great things in their life. But that's okay. Drop the best things in your life. But thing is, us as people, we don't always have to put our best self out there. There's so many Instagram influencers that all you see is their best life. And you've probably heard that like a billion times. But people aren't perfect. And that's okay. Because I don't want to what was I trying to say? I don't want to create a community where everyone acts like everything's great. Just I want to make a comment section. I want to make a community where everyone feels like we can just be real with each other in the comments and no, judgment. Where people don't have to fake who they are just to be accepted into this community, because we're all trying to figure stuff out. Everyone's trying to figure stuff out. Everyone just figures it out at different speeds. So, yeah, that's what I've learned in 18 years. And if there's one thing I'll leave you with, sorry, I'm sick, it's don't rush to become someone who the world accepts. Take your time becoming someone that you respect. Alright, guys. I love all y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys all have great days. Remember to like and subscribe if you watched all the way through, because that helps me more than you know. This video probably has about 2 views, but that's okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. I post Saturdays and Sundays and YouTube shorts throughout the week. Have a great day. Bye.